Hello everyone, my name is Chana Simigkay. Together with my partner, Ronaldin Balingatan, we are here to discuss to you about the Republic Act number 7924, which Metropolitan Manila Development Authority defining its power and function, providing funds, therefore and for other purposes. This began and held in Metro Manila on Monday, the 25th day of July 1994. This act, which originated in the House of Representatives, was finally passed by the House Representative and the Senate of February 21, 1995 and February 14, 1995 respectively. So, let's begin with next slide. Section 1. Declaration of Policy. It is hereby declared to be the policy of the Senate to treat Metropolitan Manila as the special development and administrative region and certain basic services affecting or involving Metro Manila as metro-wide services for efficiently and effectively plan, supervise, and coordinate by Development Authority as created herein without prejudice to autonomy of effective local government unit. Pursuant to this policy, Metropolitan Manila as a public corporation created under President Decree number 824, embracing the cities of Caloocan, Manila, Mandaluyong, Makati, Pasay, Pasig, Quezon, and Muntinlupa, and the municipality of Las Piñas, Malabon, Marikina, Navotas, Parañaque, Pateros, San Juan, Taguig, and Valenzuela is hereby constituted in a special development and administrative region subject to direct supervision of the President of the Philippines. Under Section 2, Creation of Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, the affair of Metropolitan Manila shall be administered by Metropolitan Manila Authority, hereinafter referred to as MMDA, to replace the Metropolitan Authority MMA, organized under Exclusive Order Number 392 Series of 1990. The MMDA shall perform planning, monitoring, and coordinative functions, and its process exercise regulatory and supervisory authority over the delivery of metro-wide services within Metro Manila without devolution of autonomy of local government unit concerning purely local matters. Under Section 3, Scope of MMDA Services, metro-wide services under jurisdiction of the MMDA are those services which have metro-wide impact and transcend local political boundaries of entail high expenditures such as it would not be able for said service to be provided by individual local government units LGUs comprising Metropolitan Manila. This service shall include development planning, which includes the preparation of medium and long-term development plans and development evaluation and packaging of product, investment programming and coordination and monitoring of plan, program, and project implementation. Then transport and traffic management, which include the formulation, coordination, and monitoring of policies, standard program, and project to rationalize the existing transport operation, infrastructure requirements, the use of thoroughfare, and promotion of sale and convenient movement of persons and goods, provision for the mass transport system, and the institution of the system to regulate road users, administration, and implementation of all traffic enforcement operation, traffic engineering services, and traffic education programs, including the institution of a single ticketing system in Metro Manila. And also solid waste disposal and management, which include formulation and implementation of policy, standard, program, and project for proper and sanitary waste disposal. It shall likewise include the establishment and operation of sanitary landfill and related facilities, and the implementation of other alternative program intended to reduce, rescue, and recycle solid waste. And also flood control, sewerage management, which include the formulation and implementation of policies, standard program, and project for an integrated flood control, drainage, and sewerage system, and urban renewal, zoning, and land use planning, and shelter services, which include the formulation, adoption, and implementation of policies, standards, rules and regulation programs, and project to rationalize the and optimize urban land use and provide direction to urban growth, and the rehabilitation and development of slum and blighted areas, the development of shelter and housing facilities, and the provision of necessary social services. Therefore, health and sanitation, urban protection, and population control, which include the formulation and implementation of policies, rule and regulation, standard, program, and project for the promotion and safeguarding of health and sanitation of the region, and for the enhancement of ecological balance and the prevention and control and abatement of environmental population. And public safety, which include the formulation and implementation of program and policies and procedure to achieve public safety, especially preparedness for preventing or rescue operation during times of calamities and disasters such as conflagration, earthquake, flood, and tidal wave, and coordination and mobilization of resources, and the implementation of contingency contingency I should say plans for the rehabilitation and relief operation in coordination with national agencies concerned. And also, under Section 4, Metro Manila Council, the governing board and policy-making body of the MMDA shall be the Metro Manila Council, composes of the mayor of 8 cities and 9 municipalities enumerated in Section 1, hereof the President of the Metro Manila, Vice Mayor League, and the President of Metro Manila Councilor League. The head of the Department of Transportation and Communication of DOT, Department of Public Work and Highway, or DPWH, and Department of Tourism, DOT, Department of Budget and Management, DBM, Housing and Urban Development Coordinating Committee, HUDOC, I should say, and Philippine National Police, PNP, or their duly authorized representative will attend meeting of the councilor as non-voting member. The councilor The council shall be headed by a chairman who shall be appointed by the president and who shall continue to hold office at the discretion of appointing authority. He shall be vested with rank, rights, privilege, disqualifications, and prohibition prohibition of a cabinet member. The chairman shall be assisted by a manager, an assisting general manager for finance and administration, as assistant general manager for planning and assistant general manager operation, all of whom shall be appointed by the resident with the consent and concurrence of the majority of the council, subject to civil service law, rule, and regulation. They will enjoy security of tenure and may be removed for cause in accordance with law. The Assistant General Manager for Planning must have not less than 5 years extensive experience in development and planning or must hold a master degree in urban planning or scholar discipline. The chairman and member of the council shall be entitled allowance and per diem in accordance with existing policies, rules, and regulation on the matter. And let's go in section 5, the function and power of Metro Manila Development Authority. The MMDA shall formulate, coordinate, and regulate the implementation, medium, and long-term plan and programs for the delivery of metro-wide services, land use, and physical development within Metropolitan Manila, consistent with national development objective and priorities. And also, prepare, coordinate, and regulate the implementation of medium-term investment program for metro-wide services, which shall indicate sources and use of fund for priority program and project, and which shall include the packaging of project and presentation of fund institution. And also, again, undertake and manage on its own metro-wide program and project for the delivery of specific services under its jurisdiction, subject to the approval of the council. For the purpose, MMDA can create appropriate project management office. Oops. Okay. Coordinate and monitor the implementation of such plan, programs, and projects in Metro Manila, identify bottlenecks, and adapt solution to problem of implementation. The MMDA shall set policies concerning traffic in Metro Manila and shall coordinate and regulate implementation of all programs and projects concerning traffic management, specifically pertaining to enforcement, engineering, and education. Upon request, it shall be extended, assisting and cooperation, including but not limited to assignment of personnel by all other government agency and offices concerned. Install and administer a single ticketing system, fix, impose, and collecting fines and penalties for all kinds of violation of traffic rules and regulations. Alam nyo naman na siguro yan. Whether moving or non-moving in nature, and confiscate and suspend or revoke driver license in the enforcement of such traffic laws and regulations, the provision of Republic Act 4136, the DP 1605, to the contrary, notwithstanding for this purpose, the authority shall enforce all traffic laws and regulation in Metro Manila through its Traffic Operation Center and may deputize members of PNP, traffic enforcers of local government units, duly licensed security guard or member of non-government organization to whom may be delegated certain authority, subject to such condition and requirement as the authority may impose. Perform other related function required to achieve the objective of MMDA include the undertaking of delivery of basic services to the local government units when deemed necessary, subject to prior coordination with and consent of the local government unit concerned. Under Section 6, Functions of the Metro Manila Council. Okay, this is the council shall be the policy-making body of the MMDA, and it shall provoke metro-wide plans, program, and project, and issue rules and regulation deemed necessary by MMDA to carry out the purposes of this act. It may increase the rate of allowance and per diem of the member of the council to be effected during the term of the succeeding council. It shall also fix the compensation of the officers and personnel of the MMDA and approve the annual budget thereof for submission to the Department of Budget and Management, DBM. And lastly, for Section 6, it shall promulgate rules and regulation and set policies and standards for wide application governing the delivery of basic service, prescribe and collect service, and regulatory fees, and impose the collect fines and penalties. And Section 7, Function of Chairman and Chairman shall. Appointing, subject to civil service law rules and regulation, all subordinate officer and employees shall enjoy security of tenure and may be removed only for cause of accordance with law. The chairman is hereby authorized to engage the services of experts, consultant either on full-time or part-time basis, as may be required in the performance of his function and duties as may be determined by him. And also, execute the policies and measures approved by the Metro Manila Council and be responsible for the efficient and effective day-to-day management of the operation of the MMDA. Then, prepare an annual budget for the operation of MMDA for the submission of the Council. Again, submit for consideration of the Council such other duties and measures as may deem necessary of carry out purposes and provision of the Act. And subject to the guidelines and policies set by the Council are the staffing pattern and fix the number of subordinate officials and employees of the MMDA and exercise the power of discipline subordinate official and employees under the supervision of the law. Then, prepare an annual report on the accomplishment of the MMDA at the close of each calendar year for submission to the Council and to the President of the Philippines, and perform such other duties as may be assigned to him by the President or by the Council. Dito na tayo sa Section 8. Function of the General Manager. The General Manager shall assist the Chairman in the administration of the MMDA and supervision of subordinate personnel, assist the Chairman in the supervision of the operation of the various operating center and unit of MMDA, assisting the Chairman in the review of plan and programs for the MMDA and for Metro Manila in the preparation of the annual report of activities and accomplishment of the MMDA, and perform such other duties and function as may be lawfully delegated or assigned by the Chairman from time to time. Okay, I think Ronaldin may report this one. Thank you.
Hello and good day everyone. I'm Ronaldin Balingatan and I am with my group mates Chona Sumikay, wherein she reported the first part of our designated report, and I'm here to continue our discussion. Section 9, Institutional Linkages of the MMDA. The MMDA shall, in carrying out its functions, consult, coordinate, and work closely with the LGUs, the National Economic and Development Authority, and other national government agencies mentioned in Section 4 hereof, and accredited people's organization, non-governmental organizations, and the private sector operating in Metro Manila. The MMDA chairman or his authorized representative from among the council members shall be ex officio member of the boards of government corporation and committees of the department and offices of the government whose activities are relevant to the objectives and responsibilities of the MMDA, which shall include but not limited to Metropolitan Water Works and Sewerage System, DOTC, DPWH, HUDCC, and Department of the Interior and Local Government. The MMDA shall have a master plan that shall serve as the framework for the local government plans of the component LGUs. The MMDA shall submit its development plans and investment programs to the NEDA for integration in the medium-term Philippine Development Plan and Public Investment Program. The implementation of the MMDA plans, programs, and projects shall be undertaken by the LGU, the concerned national government agencies, the POS, NGO, and the private sector, and the MMDA itself where appropriate. For this purpose, the MMDA may enter into contracts, memoranda of agreement, and other cooperative agreements with these bodies for the delivery of the required services within Metropolitan Manila. The MMDA shall, in coordination with the NEDA and the Department of Finance, interface with the foreign assistance agencies for purposes of obtaining financing support, grants, and donation in support of its program and projects. Sinasabi dito sa Section 9 na ang MMDA ay dapat makipag-ugnayan at makipagtulungan sa mga ahensya ng pamahalaan tulad ng LGU at NEDA dahil ang mga aktibidad na ito ay nag-uugnay sa layunin at responsibilidad nila. Section 10, Sources of Funds and the Operating Budget of MMDA. A. To carry out the purposes of this Act, the amount of 1 billion pesos is hereby authorized to be appropriated for the initial operation of the MMDA. Thereafter, the annual expenditures, including capital outlays of the MMDA, shall be provided in the General Appropriation Act. B. The MMDA shall continue to receive the internal revenue allotment currently located the present MMA. C. The MMDA is likewise empowered by levy fines and impose fees and charges for various services rendered. D. 5% of the total annual gross revenue of the preceding year, net of the internal revenue allotment of each local government unit mentioned in Section 2 hereof shall accrue and become payable monthly to the MMDA by each city or municipality. In case of failure to remit the said fixed contribution, the DBM shall cause the disbursement of the same to MMDA chargeable against the year allotment of the city or municipality concerned. The provision of Section 286 of RA 7160 to the contrary notwithstanding. Section 11, Transitory Provision, to prevent disruption in the delivery of basic urban services pending the full implementation of the MMDA organizational structure and staffing pattern, all official and employees of the interim MMA shall continue to exercise their duties and function and receive their salaries and allowances until they shall have been given notice of change of duties and functions and of being transferred to another office or position. All assets and properties presently in use of under the accountability of the interim MMA and all its obligation, indebtedness, or liabilities shall be transferred to and assumed by the MDA created under this Act, subject to the condition that may established by the Department of Budget and Management, Office of the President, and Commission on Audit. The civil service laws, rules, and regulation pertinent to the displacement of personnel affected by this Act shall be strictly enforced. The national government shall provide such amounts as may be necessary to pay the benefits accruing to displaced employees at the rate of 1 1/4 month's salary for every year of service, provided that if qualified for retirement under existing retirement laws, said employees may opt to receive the benefits thereunder. Section 12, Repealing Clause. Executive Order Number 392 dated January 9, 1990 is hereby repealed. All other laws, decrees, executive order, rules and regulation or parts or provision thereof which are not affected shall continue to remain in full force and effect. So, all laws concerning the rules and regulation that are existing prior to this law are being cancelled by Republic Act 11 to 14. Section 13, Separability Clause. If any part or provision of this Act is held unconstitutional or invalid, other parts or provision thereof which are not affected shall continue to remain in full force and effect. Sa lahat naman ng Republic Act ay meron namang ganito na kung saan anuman yung batas na nakapaloob dito sa Republic Act 13 na found out unconstitutional or invalid, hindi po nangangahulugan na hindi na magiging effective yung dahul na batas. So yun ang ginagamit ng separability clause. In full force, nag-e-effect pa rin po, except kung may nakitang invalid. And the last one is Section 14, Effectivity. This Act shall take effect 15 days following completion of its publication in at least 2 newspapers of general circulation. So, pinapublicize po yung mga ganitong Republic Act, and of course, it will be approved and signed by the following House of Representatives. And that's end of our discussion. Thank you for listening and have a good day, everyone.